Hey, what's up guys? John here. One of the biggest strikes in U.S. history is happening right now inside of the healthcare sector. I'm talking about Kaiser Permanente. 13 million patients, 75,000 employees could be walking away from their jobs.
Employees at Kaiser Permanente could begin striking as soon as this Wednesday, and it could trigger the largest strike of healthcare workers in U.S. history.
Tens of thousands of Kaiser workers are preparing to hold a three-day strike in just a couple of days.
If that happens, it would be the largest healthcare strike in American history.
But I think something very big is happening behind the scenes that they're not talking about. Nobody's talking about this. And I think that we could be seeing a complete overhaul in the U.S. healthcare system in a way in which we've never seen before. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on behind the scenes and show you the facts. Please hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's really going on. And if you want to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, we'd love to give you a free strategy session at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, you have any negative item on your credit report, maybe you're ignoring it, maybe you just don't want to think about it, book a free strategy session. See what it would take to fix your credit, to get everything squared away so that you can invest in what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer of all time. With bad credit, lenders view borrowers as high risk. With great credit, 770, 780, lenders want to lend them money. They want to establish those relationships with these high quality borrowers. So if you have bad credit, go to GreatCreditFast.com. We'd love to help you at my company. You can click the link below. Take a look at this. So Kaiser Permanente union workers poised to strike after contract expires. Right, 13 million patients, 39 hospitals, 600 medical centers across 8 states and D.C. More than 75,000 workers at the largest nonprofit public healthcare provider in the United States is poised to strike on Wednesday after negotiations failed to reach an agreement over the weekend. The workers' contract with Kaiser Permanente expired Saturday, with the disagreement still simmering over staffing levels, which unions have made a focus on their demands. Now, I personally think that that's a complete front. In fact, just like I did a video the other day talking about the auto industry with the UAW strike, I believe there's something much bigger happening right now with these big strikes. They want to overhaul these entire systems and industries. So I'm going to show you what they're showing you, and then I'm going to show you what I think is actually happening here. So the coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions on Monday accused Kaiser of negotiating in bad faith and committing unfair labor practices. Workers will still strike Wednesday morning if Kaiser execs don't take a dramatic action now to solve the short staffing crisis, right, by investing in workforce. They go on to say, that Kaiser, they're making record profits and that they can afford to hire many more staff. They're the same exact thing that UAW strike was saying against Ford, right, and these other manufacturers. But Kaiser reported a profit of $2 billion and a second quarter of a year with record loss of $1.2 billion in the same quarter of 2022. Nonprofit generated $25 billion in revenue in the second quarter, right? So what would be the reason in which they would not want to extend this contract? Well, maybe because they want to change the entire healthcare sector in a way in which is going to be so much more profitable for these businesses than anything that any nurse, doctor, or practitioner could allow them to create in terms of monetary value for their enterprise. Healthcare in 2030, smart toilets, robots, and digitalization. Now, many people might say, John, that's not going to happen. That's far-fetched. Think about what this would mean. I'm going to show you what their model is, this new model. So in under a decade, healthcare will see physicians use smart home devices like mirrors and toilets to diagnose diseases, while robots will take care of patients. Everything will be fully digitized. So, the new Tesla bot, they're talking about this Tesla bot being worth 20 grand. That's how much they would actually pay these bots, $20,000. Now, how much are you going to pay a nurse in Los Angeles? $85,000, $100,000, right? And you're going to have to pay for the retirement plans and healthcare benefits and all these other incentives. With a robot, 20 grand out the door, you work 24/7, right? We're damn near 24/7. So Walker predicts that healthcare will be fully digitalized in the next 6 years. So the only way in which that's going to ultimately happen is going to be a major overhaul. There's going to be problem, reaction, new solution, right? As the global population rises to 10 billion and most developed countries will have aging populations. Together, this will create a higher demand for healthcare services as patient populations will be larger. So providers will need to cater for this higher demand and increased access worldwide, right? Well, What does this actually look like? She explains this will give patients a wider choice of on-demand appointments, and for elderly or sick patients, remove the need to travel to visit a healthcare site and reduce the length of hospital stays. In a decade, digital therapeutic products will play a much more active role in disease treatment, management, and prevention. This will allow physicians to keep track of elderly patients' conditions and spot potential problems early on. Well, there's going to be a lot of physicians that are going to be out of a job if that happens, because why would they need a physician to do that if they have generative AI, right? That is probably smarter than a physician. If you look at some of the surgeries that a lot of these robotic machines can actually do, it's so much more accurate and precise than some of the top surgeons today. So, healthcare industry in the future, what to expect? Look at this. Development and technology are moving forward rapidly. And over the next 50 years, healthcare across the globe will change, including increased use of AI and robotics. Trends also show that climate, hunger, and disease may also affect how the sector will change. A study by researchers, right, describe what the future of the healthcare industry will look like. In the study, the research describes significant trends and factors that are expected to affect the development of healthcare and medical care over the next 50 years. Now, that's the next 50 years, but in the next 5 to 10, we're expected to see an increase in welfare technology in the industry with the use of AI and robotics, telemedicine, which comprises remote medical care, and is expected to increase, as is value-based healthcare, where hospitals are funded based on results. So if you look at Kaiser, you look at their board, you look at, who the owners are, their profits, their revenue, you can see where this is, where they're actually trying to push this. They're trying to push this toward profitability. And if you look at these people right here, this entity, they've made this prediction. They said 2030, right? Global goodbye hospital, hello home, Spital. However, when I look towards the future, I see a very different trajectory. Who needs a hospital when you can prevent or treat conditions from the comfort of your home? The global burden of disease is largely vascular, with health attacks and strokes and bigger causes of death around the world, and therefore preventable with a better understanding of risk factors. Rates of traumatic injury are falling and will continue to decline as we introduce driverless cars and robots and workers for risky tasks. So, if you look at this, over the next 6 years, we are going to see so many jobs get replaced, changed, modified. Some people are right now, they're learning, studying, they're putting themselves in a really, really good position where they're doing everything that they could possibly do to advance themselves so that as all of these changes, these structural changes happen to the economy, they can move and pivot with the times. Because a lot of careers are about to change. And so when you look at this $17 trillion consumer debt pool that we're sitting in right now in America with record high interest rates, it's a big problem. And so when you have all of these careers changing, you're going to see a lot of people not prepared for it and forced to sell off assets. And that's why if you look right now, I believe you're seeing some of the biggest hedge funds in the world sitting on so much money, $5.3 trillion in just cash sitting in money market accounts. By 2030, the very nature of disease will be further disrupted by technology, so disrupted, in fact, that we might have a whole lot fewer diseases to manage. The fourth industrial revolution will ensure that humans will live longer and healthier lives, so that hospitals of the future will become more like NASCAR pit stops. So why do they need these massive 500,000 square foot hospitals? They're not going to need them. These assets that Kaiser owns and these other hospitals own, if they can reduce their square footage or sell off those assets, they're going to be able to think about this. They're going to be able to make a fortune on these assets in many cases. They might be able to repurpose them, turn it into housing. They might be able to, who knows what they want to do with it. They have options. And on top of that, they can reduce their staff. They can digitalize a lot of this process. They're going to turn their enterprise from making $2 billion in revenue to, who knows, maybe $10 billion, and they're going to increase their profit margins dramatically. I'm going to turn into NASCAR pit stops with inescapable black holes. You'll go to the hospital to be patched up and put back on the track. Some hospital practices might even go away completely. And the need for hospitalizations will eventually disappear, not by 2030, but soon after. So when you read these headlines, and they say, there's this strike and, workers deserve more and stuff like that, sure. In relation to inflation, a lot of people deserve to make more money. But at the end of the day, the economy, we live in a capitalistic economy, supplied based on value. And that's how business owners operate. They operate in a way in which they're going to be able to supply more value to the economy. They're going to be able to make more money. And when you have large institutions like Ford and Kaiser, and they're talking about all these strikes that are just happen, coincidentally right now at a time in which they're getting ready to overhaul all of these industries, you have to ask yourself, right? What are the odds, right? What are the odds? I think that they're already working on it right now, types of robotic surgery to perform, general surgery, right? And they're already using robotics. I think that they already know how this whole thing is going to play out. We're witnessing a complete overhaul of the healthcare sector, and we're going to witness a complete overhaul of the U.S. economy. And now it's time to get ready for it. Next couple of years, I think, are going to be the most important in U.S. history. So if you are thinking about investing, you are thinking about starting a business, it's a great time to learn. Wherever you want to invest, a great business, if you have a great business idea, it's a great time to learn about it, to get around smart and savvy people that are already in that industry, to read about it. This is the moment, the great wealth transfer we're in right now. And if bad credit's holding you back, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com, give you a free strategy session. You can click a link below, schedule a free call, and drop your comments below. Let's have a conversation about this. I think we're witnessing something huge that's about to unfold here. Catch you guys in the next video.